Welcome to another special Thanksgiving edition of EMAC 241's YouTube channel. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to see me. I'm all dressed up. Happy Thanksgiving to you. I made a video previous to this, but I'm leaving soon, so I gotta make this video right now. Okay, let's show it. As we all know, CM Punk was on Cole Cabana's podcast last night, or today actually, about 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning. You know, a lot of details were put in. From CM Punk, he laid it all out there. His interview about Triple H and Vince McMahon, WWE exposed. You know, it was uncensored. He laid it all out there. Well, as noted, CM Punk appeared on his friend Cole Cabana's podcast this week, which was advertised as Punk finally discussing his highly publicized exit from WWE. He explained that he chose to give it away for free on Cabana's podcast as opposed to getting a big payday out of a shoot interview. Okay, here we go. Punk opened up by saying, "I wouldn't say Vince convinced me, but I talked myself into giving it the old college try," said Punk, but when he resigned in 2011. Now people are saying, you can't make change thing on your house in Chicago, and I disagree, because that's exactly what I'm doing now. It almost took that. When I split in January, they changed everything. Part of me thinks they changed a lot of stuff to spite me. And that's fine, because other certain people who deserve certain things at those certain times got those things. Punk said that while he's the happiest he's ever been, he considers it okay to be bitter. I wasn't the nicest guy to deal with, or the easiest guy to deal with either. Punk said that the main reason that he left the company after the Royal Rumbles was due to injuries, notably broken ribs sustained at the hands of Ryback. He also worked through a concussion and fever, all while his checks got smaller. He suffered a concussion early in the 2014 Royal Rumble match and still worked over 40 minutes. Despite the suffering concussion, he still passed a concussion test. While paying little to no attention to it, he scoffed at the test, saying it was bullshit. Punk said that the company asked him to sign visas and take drug tests instead of listening to his requests to help him. He had decided that he was going to go home. Punk said that he remembered ripping Triple H for cutting into his hot angle in 2011, and told he and Vince that it was ridiculous that they weren't considering Daniel Bryan for the WrestleMania 30 main event. He said Vince had embraced him while in tears, and said that Punk was family. Among other grievances, he pointed out that Brock Lesnar's sponsors, prior to Lesnar's deal, Punk had requested sponsors as another means of revenue for himself and other wrestlers, and the idea was shot down. He also claimed that Vince McMahon shot down his idea to walk to the cage with the UFC fighter Chael Sonnen because someone could die in that cage. Weeks later, Triple H was walking Floyd Mayweather to the ring during an event. He said that really only he and John Cena would ever question Vince's decisions, and on occasion Randy Orton. Punk said that WWE's doctors was inept and diagnosed a MRSA staph infection as a fatty deposit. He said that his new doctor, recommended by his wife, AJ Lee, told him that he should be dead after wrestling with a staph infection for months. Punk considers his wrestling career a failure since he didn't get to the main event of WrestleMania, but he's okay with that, and he's moving on with his life. He said Vince McMahon was old and out of touch, and that even though he had the top match at WrestleMania 29, which was about 1.5 years ago, he didn't make the money the bigger names did. Punk says that he did not quit the company. He was actually fired. 2 weeks after leaving, he was sent a text message by Vince McMahon saying he was suspended for 2 months. When the suspension ended, he wasn't contacted by the company. He asked where his owed royalties were, and wasn't given an answer by the company. On his wedding day, he received termination papers that said he had breached his contract. He then hired a ruthless lawyer to fight the breach and ended up with a settlement that he said gave him everything he asked for and more. Punk made it clear that he would never have a working relationship with WWE ever again. Punk thinks that after having him as an independent contractor for a decade, he could ruin their business model by taking them to court. They were also afraid that he would go to TNA, but he said he despises wrestling now and won't wrestle ever again. UFC was also listed in Punk's no-compete deal. Punk had incredibly unkind words for Ryback, who he said broke his ribs and took decades off of his life. He also accused Ryback of abusing steroids. He said that during both of his feuds with Ryback, he sustained injuries. He said that he suspected that Ryback was doing it on purpose because it happened so much. Among some other things, Punk talked about the plan. What was the plan for him in a WWE film? Comparisons to WWE and NFL, and many issues with Triple H. He also said that he came up with the idea of the Shield, and also crapped his pants on SmackDown, and he thought it was hilarious. Okay, well, here you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the support. Have a happy Thanksgiving, but let me have my view, my opinions, my thoughts, my comments about this first. Okay. So, in 2001 when he resigned, he loved it still, I'm guessing. He wanted to do it, he wanted to make change. I'm glad he did that. But you don't walk on the company. But, when he talks about having deserving people, certain people deserve certain things, and those guys got those things, I'm thinking about Daniel Bryan. Because that's what he wanted. He thought he deserves it. And he wanted him in the main event of WrestleMania 30, so I'm guessing that's what we talked about. So, now I don't know, because, I don't know. There's always two sides to the story, so I don't know. But I'm just going to say this. Reports were saying, not saying that they were right, but when I was hearing about this, I heard that it was injuries, like, a little bit of, and then it was because of the creative and what he didn't like where it was going to direction of the company, and, what his match was going to be and all that crap. Now he's saying it's injuries, I don't know if he's trying to switch it around, but I do believe he was working hard. You can tell that, his matches weren't perfection. He wasn't even remembering the moves correctly. He wasn't doing all that, he was pretty hard. You can tell in his matches he was writhing in pain. And then I guess WWE wanted him just to be in so bad they didn't care about his health. Because they were making him work sick, freaking 3 months, he's freaking gonna die, antibiotics, and crap. I mean, who does that? Come on. So I said, I think if they would have given him time off, I bet this would have never happened. But now I guess with WWE, he's happier than ever. Well, I mean, in a WWE match, you always have to work over. You always have to work it, even if you're injured or not. Like, I mean, if you're in the match and you get injured, you have to continue. I mean, how do you pass a concussion test when you sustain a concussion? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, I know, you can tell, because when Triple H was getting him Night of Champions in 2011, he was going to push, and then, just like it died down. But, Dan Bryan did get his main event, so, but can you believe Vince McMahon was in tears when he said that Punk was family and he didn't want him to go? But it's kind of cool, they don't want CM Punk walk down with a UFC fighter, but Triple H does. So really, CM Punk and John Cena could only, whatever question of his decisions, and on occasion Randy Orton, so that's pretty interesting. So, CM Punk could have died, can you believe that? He was taking his antibiotics for months, he didn't take time off, and he somehow was still alive. I don't know how. But, see, I wouldn't say CM Punk's wrestling career is a failure just because he's in the main event of WrestleMania. I don't know about that. I mean, he is the longest 434-day reign as WWE champion in the last 25 years, longest reigning. I mean, him and Undertaker did have an awesome match. I rate that 5 out of 5 stars. But see, it's not all about the money. But I do get what he's coming from. But can you believe that he never actually quit the company? He was actually fired. And then now WWE tries to switch this around. But there's always two sides. Just saying that, he left. And then they're still saying he's under contract in July, Then it's... See, look at that. I mean, do they even care about CM Punk? Did they even want him to come back? Did they ever want him to come back? Because he was suspended for 2 months, apparently, Then he was on a sabbatical. I remember he told the thing and all that crap. And then he didn't even contact him again. So I'm guessing, remember when I reported this? I don't know if he knows, but it was reported by me also. But well, because it talks about his royalties and he wasn't good by the company. So pretty much that, so he'd never have any working relation with WWE again. Can you believe that? He's never going to return, saying he's never going to come back. He's never going to have anything to do with the business anymore. But see, a lot of wrestlers say that, 5 years from now, he might say, I want to come back. This is right now what he's feeling. You have to say, I'm not saying he's going to come back, I'm just saying, you can't just say it's never going to happen. So I guess he has a new deal with WWE, saying, I guess, they can, I don't know, if he gets royalties for his merchandise, and, he's in the video games, and he's, because, I guess he has no compete deal. He can't go to TNA, he can't go anywhere, so I guess it does confirm that he's never going to work anywhere else, at least for right now. So I guess Ryback did it on purpose, because he didn't want CM Punk in the WWE, or I don't know, he was jealous, or yeah. And can you believe he came up with the idea of the Shield and all that crap? And this is unbelievable, all these words. You should listen to the whole thing. It's about 2 hours, ladies and gentlemen. So thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Happy Thanksgiving. Have a good one with your family. Eat all you can eat. Get full. I'm just trying to come on here and show you how thankful I am for you. How much I love all my subscribers and viewers. Just for you. I want to recognize all of you. So like the video, share this video all over the internet, Facebook, on Twitter. Comment with your thoughts and your opinions. Yeah. So subscribe.